Chosen one, listen carefully. Something ancient has awakened in your spirit, and you can feel it even if you cannot yet explain it. There is a stirring inside you that has no natural source. It is not imagination. It is not emotion. This is not just wishful thinking. It proves something. God has touched a deep part of your spirit memory, and heaven has shown you who you really are. That's not where you came from. You didn't come from a long-lost family tree. You were made by the breath of the King. The path your blood takes was never meant to be the same as the rest of the world's. People for generations have been waiting for the day you would finally figure out who you are. This realization doesn't come as a surprise to your spirit. It feels like home. You've always known what it is but never had the words to describe it. Something you knew in your childhood but didn't say out loud. A strange pull you felt as a child. A sense that your life was different. Even though everything around you tried to tell you it wasn't. God now says it's true. It is true that you are a royal descendant. Not with kings on earth, but with spiritual inheritance at the start of the line. A line watched, a line was kept safe. Darkness is after this line because it is strong. There has always been something about you that doesn't match up with how other people act. You tried to be like them. You tried to understand what they were saying. You tried to fit in. But your spirit wouldn't shrink into a smaller form. The limits that other people tried to put on your life were pushed against by something inside you. That something was your family history talking. Child of God, you were never meant to be hidden in normal groups of people. That's why you were only with them for a short time. When you were revealed, it would upset everything that was trying to keep you small. Darkness knew you had a royal mark on your soul, even before you knew what it was. That's why you've always had a hard time. That's why your fights were tougher. That's why you were picked out early. Spiritual war can start with royal blood, even before the vessel learns to stand up straight. The message from the prophet is clear. God isn't giving you a new name or identity. In this case, He's reminding you of an old, real identity that your spirit has had since the beginning. This is why you walk with a sense of authority that you didn't learn. That's smart talk from someone who hasn't studied. You go through storms that would have broken other people. Nobody can understand how strong you are because you keep rising. Kindness is not this. This is heritage, and it is royal heritage. Even though you were born into spiritual royalty, everyone around you tried to make you feel like you were not important. Because they couldn't see what God had put inside you, they treated you like everyone else. They thought you were weak because you were quiet. To them, your wounds looked like failures. They took your being alone as rejection when it wasn't. But God never got you wrong. Heaven will never get you wrong. The King who made you has always known who you are. You are now finally facing the truth. Chosen one, you carry the music of warriors, prophets, intercessors, gatekeepers, and other people from the past who walked with God in ways that the world has forgotten. This is not a family tree from earth. The power in your soul can't be explained by any dynasty on earth. Your family tree is spiritual. It comes from the people who walked on fire, heard God in the desert, and had the secrets of heaven embedded in their bones. This is why your enemy has always tried to keep you quiet. He knew who you were before you even knew who you were. He could see the mark on your spirit. His eyes lit up when he heard your voice. He saw that your rise had potential. He also knew that if you ever found out who you really are, his control over your life would end right away. So he attacked right away. He attacked very hard. He attacked all the time. He turned down people. He lied about it. He used being alone. He caused trouble. He used all the weapons he could make. He didn't hurt you because you were weak, but because he knew you were royal. There was proof all along. You made it through something that others did not. You came back from wounds that should have killed you. You had a lot of wisdom for your age. You got into fights that weren't right for you. It wasn't an accident. These were signs that a royal bloodline was waking up, after being put under a lot of stress. God let some storms happen, because pressure can show you what kind of person an heir really is. Royals' true nature can only be seen in times of conflict. The strength of the light inside you can only be seen in the dark. Because you are different, you have always felt different. You felt different because you are different. You felt like someone is watching over you because they are. You felt pushed back because being royalty always feels like that. The revelation you are getting right now is not something new for your spirit. It proves something. Your spirit knew already. That's why your dreams are important. So this is why you have a good gut feeling. This is why your presence changes the mood. This is why some people react to you in strange ways they can't explain. Even when you don't say it, your spirit tells people about your family tree. God is now ready to bring out the whole of who you are. The veil is gone. The confirmation has already been made. The inheritance is coming together. Picked, you didn't come from a line that was broken. You made it through one. Your real family tree is royal. Your real family tree is divine. And the time has come for heaven to show you how much you carry. Get ready. Things are going to change. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description, or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Chosen one, heaven starts to reveal another layer of truth, now that the revelation has been spoken over your spirit. Being a royal descendant is not a sign of anything. It's not a metaphor. It's a spiritual truth. You have the mark of a kingdom that existed before any country on earth. The first line of defense was a kingdom that existed before time. A kingdom that can't be moved or taken down from its throne. You can feel this kingdom. You can feel it even if you don't know what it is. It makes you feel heavy in the chest. You can feel the heat in your bones. It makes you feel like your words have weight. It puts pressure on you in battle. This kingdom is where your real family lives. It's where you built your identity. That's where your fate was sealed. Your family tree holds memories, both old and spiritual. Every once in a while, you feel like you've lived 1,000 lives. Sometimes you respond with wisdom you didn't know you had. There are times when you handle a crisis with such strength that it shocks you. This is not a mistake, this is passing on. Spiritual inheritance of the King. There is power in you that is older than your body, your name, and the family you were born into. Heaven didn't pick you out of a bad bunch. You were chosen on purpose, set apart on purpose, ready before you took your first breath, and marked before you even opened your eyes. That's why your story never followed a normal path. Everything about your journey was different from the start: the rhythm, the pattern, and the weight. You were not made for ease of use. You were shaped by the pressure of God. Storms that you didn't ask for shaped you. Tough times that made you grow in silence shaped you. It felt like the nights would never end, and they did. You were formed by times when God kept you hidden from other people but showed you to yourself. Chosen one. Your spirit never got comfortable with being small for a reason. There was something inside you that wouldn't shrink. Something inside you wouldn't stay down, even when life pushed you down. You got back up, not because you were strong, but because your blood wouldn't let you lose. Royal people can feel weak, but they can't make that feeling who they are. That's why you got up. There were times when you almost gave up. There were times when the weight felt too much. There were times when the pain in your heart made no sense. Still, something inside you said, "Keep going." That whisper wasn't coming from you. Your family history was calling you to move forward. It was the voice of an ancient authority speaking through you. It was the memory of where you came from, making your way through the fog of your current problem. Royal blood keeps the throne in mind, even when the body has forgotten. As a child of God, this is why you struggled with your purpose. You didn't get lost. You were waking up. There are faint echoes of a destiny calling you, that began before you were born. A fate that darkness knew about. A fate that darkness fought. A fate that darkness feared. People with royal spiritual lineage tend to live in a certain way. The enemy tries to get rid of them quickly. He tries to hurt them before they are fully grown. He tries to shut them up before they can speak. He tries to put them down before they know how valuable they are. Before they learn how powerful their connection to God is. He tries to keep them away from other people. You lived in this way. You made it through this pattern. You are now moving past this pattern. Every fight you've had taught you something about yourself. Every loss you went through made you stronger for the crown you now wear. Each attack you took showed that you were marked. Proof that your enemy saw the king or queen in you before you did. Chosen one, you need to know something important. Your family history gives you power that scares darkness. Your spirit carries light that shows lies for what they are. Your presence has power that disturbs people who are spiritually confused. You are not dangerous because of this. It makes you holy. You are the next in a long line of spiritual warriors who won't give in to evil. Their strength is in your bones. You also bear their wounds, their fights, their weight, and their burdens. Because someone in your family felt deeply, you do too. Things are clear to you because they were clear to your ancestors. Your spirit is sharp because your family has a history of being prophets that goes back many generations. This is the reason you outgrew some places. It wasn't because you were better, but because your spirit needed to be higher. This is the reason why some relationships ended. It wasn't because you weren't nice, it was because your royal self couldn't live in small spaces. This is why some chances went away. Not because you weren't worthy, but because your fate told you to go in a different direction. Royalty can't be raised in places that don't see how valuable it is. There was a reason why you were hidden. Heaven hid you. Heaven looked out for you. Heaven watched over your growth. Nobody from heaven could have stopped you from following your calling. Heaven put walls around you that made you feel alone, but were really there to protect you. Separation is the room where royal purpose is formed. You need to understand something else. Your family tree is not only royal, it's also prophetic. People in your family tree who came before you walked with wisdom. They had visions as they walked. They had dreams that God gave them. They had to listen to heaven before other people could understand. You've had this prophetic inheritance since you were a child. You could feel it. You could feel it. You knew things that you didn't learn. You guessed motives without any proof. You felt spiritual changes that you couldn't explain. This skill wasn't something you picked out. It was given to you. You are the spiritual heir to a long line of leaders. A line of kings that God made. A dynasty that has been safe for many years. You are now in charge of a dynasty, picked. Your royal identity is coming to light because it's time for you to walk in the power you were born with. Don't shrink anymore. Stop having doubts. You should stop saying sorry for being sensitive, strong, or wise. There are more royal lines coming up, and everyone is about to see who you really are. You have been chosen, and now that heaven has confirmed who you are, something inside you is stirring more strongly. In the quiet times, you can feel it. It wakes you up when you wake up. It's there when your spirit is still. It feels like a door has opened in your soul and light is pouring through it. Something old is rising inside you. This is when your royal bloodline comes to life. It was ready for this moment. Being a royal person doesn't fully awaken at birth. It comes to life at revelation. When your spirit is strong enough to carry what was always written about you, it wakes up. It wakes up when God says it's time for you to rise to the power you were born with. Right now, you are in that moment. Here are some signs of this awakening. You feel like you're getting farther away from your old self. Things that used to feel okay don't feel right now. Things that used to feel normal now feel heavy. The conversations that used to interest you now don't. Disconnection is not what this is. This is higher ground. Your spirit is rising, and the things that used to hold you down can no longer hold on to you. It has to do with spirit. The change is inside. You can't go back on the shift. You've always known that you were different, child of God. This season, though, shows why the two are different. Your difference isn't about who you are. Heritage is what makes you different. You have a plan that no one else does. People can't figure out why you move the way you do. You have knowledge that other people can't copy. There is a reason why you are unique. This is your royal family talking. Heaven starts to give you a deeper level of discernment. As your true identity comes to light, you get a better picture of people. You can see what they want to do. You can see what they want. You can see the heart behind what they did. You can sense lies before they happen. You can feel danger coming before it does. Changes in the atmosphere can be picked up by you that other people walk right by. This is what kings and queens see. In the spirit world, kings and queens are not blind. They know, they understand. They see things that other people miss. This is your gift. You always did. But now it's getting sharper. This sharpening often comes with a break. It starts out quietly. When you wake up today, you realize that you don't fit as well in the places you used to. You feel a soft pull away from some people, even ones you used to care about. It feels like the season with them is over. You don't have any anger. You're not angry. You just feel a change, a release, and a calm knowing that something has done its job. You were chosen, and this separation is not a rejection. It keeps you safe. Royal identity can't grow in dirty ground. Heaven is cutting back the plants and trees around you, so that your roots can grow deeper, and your influence can reach more people. God gets rid of things that can't honor your calling. He gets rid of things that make you tired. He gets rid of what is stopping you from growing. This season, everything that leaves your life makes room for your throne. Being a royal person also makes you more aware of spiritual warfare. The enemy's patterns start to become more clear to you. You can see how he went after your mind. You can see how he used fear to make you say nothing. See how he sent people to take your attention away. You can see how he tried to make you doubt your worth. But you can now see the plan. You can see the try. You can see the plan. There is no longer any power over you because you can see it. Being awakened ends lying. Awakening shows you spiritual traps. Awakening brings back power. The enemy fought your family tree because he was afraid of your rise. That's when he was afraid you would become clear. He was afraid that your voice would get heavier at that moment. He was afraid that your spirit would remember what God had said about you. Right now, you are in that moment. This rise can't be taken back. This awakening can't be turned off. You no longer have to hide who you are. When your royal bloodline awakens, something else starts to happen. You start to feel a stronger pull toward a purpose. You can no longer stand living without a plan. You will no longer put up with places that make you feel suffocated. You don't talk to people in ways that lower your vibration anymore. Broken people can no longer tell you how much you're worth. You no longer let confusion tell you what to do. You can hear the call of purpose. It is a very important call. It makes a strong call. It makes a clear call. It's in your bones. It makes your heart beat faster. When the world around you fades away and your spirit stands still, you can feel it. Your compass is your purpose. Your fire comes from your purpose. Your anchor is your purpose. Royalty doesn't get lost. Royalty does things on purpose. Royal people walk in a straight line. Moving on purpose is what this season is all about for you. As you become more aware of who you are, your feelings change too. Some old wounds that used to have power over you start to heal. You start to forget about people who never said sorry. You start to separate from the pain that used to rule your days. This isn't being weak. This is being free. Royal blood can't hold chains. Your spirit is getting rid of all the weight that wasn't meant to be there in the first place. You might also notice that your gut feeling is stronger. Things happen before they happen to you. There are changes in the air. The quiet voice of God sounds better to you. You see things that other people miss. You feel guided even though you can't explain how this is something that comes from your family. You have prophetic awareness in your blood. You were never meant to walk around without seeing. You were made to walk with wisdom. Picked. There is a reason why you are waking up. It has a timer. Heaven was waiting for a certain time in your life. A time when you had been through enough storms to be strong. A time when your wounds were sufficiently healed to allow you to see clearly. A time when you were spiritually mature enough to take on the mantle that was put on you. Now is that time of year. You are rising into the fullness of who you are. You are becoming more powerful through your family history. You are rising into the destiny that was written for you before the earth was even made. The royal line is now awake, and nothing can shut it down. Chosen one, as your royal bloodline wakes up, you understand something else. You start to understand why your life has been full of such tough fights. There was never a chance in these battles. They were never by chance. They planned ahead. Darkness doesn't fight things that aren't important. Things that threaten darkness are fought. And you, child of God, are dangerous not because of who you are as a person, but because you are who you say you are. People have always been after royal blood. People have always been against royal authority. The king has always fought against his destiny. Heaven started the war against you as soon as it spoke your name. That's why the hurts you felt as a child left deep marks. That's why you had to deal with emotional storms before you had the right tools. This is why people turned against you for no reason. This is why betrayal happened when you were weak. The enemy could feel the royal blood in you. He saw the calling that was written into your future. He was scared of what you would turn into. You were not trying to stay alive. You were fighting for who you were. Every battle you fought was meant to make you forget who you are, lose your confidence, have your reflection distorted, bury your voice, and limit your reach. The enemy hoped that if he could weaken you early enough, You would never be able to use the inheritance that was meant for you. He tried to succeed, but failed because you are here. And the fact that you are listening right now shows that the royalty that is rising in your spirit has not been shut down. Your strength shocks people for a reason. People who thought you would fail are confused by how strong you are. They saw the storm. They could feel the stress. They saw how hard things were. They saw how sad it was. Still, you got up again and again. Because you are royal and don't break easily, not because you felt strong. It bends. It moves around. It is shaking. It doesn't break though. You lived because heaven wouldn't let your family tree fall. Child of God, take a moment to think about your past. Take note of the patterns. Look at the repeated attacks. Take note of how some seasons seemed meant to break your hope. Pay attention to how relationships came into your life to drain you. Take note of how some people were sent to you not to love you, but to take your attention away from your calling. All of these were clues about who you were. Because you were strong, you weren't attacked. Because you were chosen, you were attacked. Darkness shakes when a royal person walks on the ground. When heaven gives someone authority over their life, the enemy tries to get in the way in any way he can. He won't be able to change what God wrote, but he will try to put it off. He will try to change the subject. He will try to mess it up, but he won't be able to erase it. What God gives us can't be taken back. What God seals can't be opened. Whatever God says can't be changed. Your battles showed how valuable you were, how much potential you had, and why you were here. The fight wasn't for a crown. You were fighting because you had one with you already. Picked. The most important people always have to fight the biggest battles. We understand why you felt that way. This is why you felt alone. This is why, even in crowded rooms, you felt like you were alone. Your family history wouldn't let you shrink, so your spirit couldn't blend in with the environment. You were being taught. You were getting better. You were getting stronger for a future that would need you to have depth, patience, and wisdom. The people you fought were not always people. Some of them were spiritual forces that knew who you were before you did. They knew that the awakening was going to happen. They saw the power growing. They saw the inheritance getting bigger. They saw the shadow over your life, and did everything they could to stop you from living in the present. But God kept you safe. God took care of you. Though you went through some hard times, God kept you safe. A hand you couldn't see kept you from falling too far to get up. When you got too far away, a voice you couldn't hear kept pulling you back. You were kept up when you had no strength left by a power you couldn't name. That was the story of your royal family. Heaven wouldn't let you be destroyed. The war changes now that one has been chosen. It's no longer trying to kill you. Its goal is to wake you up. It aims to make you clear. It goes after your confidence. Because darkness can't hold you once you know who you are. When you accept who you are, all the chains that held you back start to break. Every attack loses its power once you stand firm in your power. Fear doesn't stop people with royal blood. Royal blood doesn't give up when things get confusing. Royal blood doesn't give up easily. There is royal blood. It will last. It goes up. There is a record of victories on it that was written by God. That's why you feel stronger now. A skill you didn't learn. A strength that shows up when you least expect it. A strength that comes out even when you're feeling down. That strength comes from family. Family history is that strength. In the spirit, that strength is the voice of your ancestors telling you to keep going. There are other people with you. It feels like a dynasty is pulling you along, and won't let you fail. As your royal identity comes to light, you realize that everything you went through was just practice. You learned how to be wise during hard times. Betraying people made your intuition stronger. Delays cleaned up your intentions. Your strength grew when you lost things. Salvation made you more aware. Every part of your life has prepared you for a role much bigger than you thought. That's why you can feel the change now. Not by chance. That's not how it feels. It's not going through. It's the beginning of a new part of your life. Heaven has told us that it is time for your royal identity to be shown. The war that was meant to hurt you is now turning into a battle for your strength. You have been chosen, and your family is calling you to rise. You are not defined by the fights you had in the past. They back you up. They carved the vessel that will carry your destiny. They made the rules that govern your life. They built the character you needed to be in the role that heaven had planned for you. There are no royal people here. You're going back to it. Picked. Heaven wants to show you something even deeper. Now that you're starting to understand the truth about your royal family, God has not only proven that you are who you say you are, He has been showing you signs all your life. There have been signs for a long time that you are spiritual royalty. Signs that you could feel but not fully understand. As your spirit wakes up, signs start to become clear. The first sign is the weight you've always felt like you couldn't explain. A weight of responsibility, not a weight of hopelessness. You felt older than your age, even when you were a child. You were aware. It made you feel soft. You were more careful than other people were. People with royal souls often take life very seriously. They are naturally aware of what will happen, know what is right and wrong, and feel like their life is too important to waste. This was the first thing that showed who you were. The second sign is that you are alone. You were never really able to blend in. Friendships changed. The circles changed. People left without giving a reason. You tried to fit in, but it never worked out. You felt lonely during times that didn't make sense. Being alone wasn't a punishment. They were split up. People with royal blood are set apart by heaven. Destiny is safe in solitude. Calling stays strong in solitude. Being alone makes you smarter. Your feeling of being alone showed you that God wanted to keep you to Himself. The third sign is that you are sensitive. Your spirit has always been awake. Before it can be seen, you can feel the spiritual tension. You feel unsafe even though there's no proof. You can feel the air being heavy before anyone else does. Changes in people that they can't hide with words are easy to pick up on. It's not weak to be sensitive. Being sensitive means being spiritually smart. Royalty is the only group that is allowed to see past the surface. The fourth sign is that you've been betrayed before. The people you trusted, who you let into your heart, and who you loved very much let you down. You didn't know these wounds were there until they hurt you. But every betrayal showed something true. People with royal souls are admired and feared. People wanted to hurt you because your spirit is valuable. Betrayal wasn't proof that you failed. It showed how valuable you are. Heaven let some people come out so that they wouldn't be able to follow you into the next season. The fifth sign is how strong you are. You made it through storms that broke others. You came back from losses that should have ended your life. You went through pain that would have killed anyone who wasn't related to the gods. Your strength wasn't something about who you are. It was passed down to you. Having royal blood gives you the power to rise. It has a strong desire to fight. It has the fire to stay alive. As soon as you stood up again, your identity spoke louder than your wounds. That which you sense is the sixth sign. You know things but don't know how to explain them. You know the truth before you can explain it. You can tell when something is aligned or not aligned without proof. This feeling is the prophetic thread that runs through your family tree. It's the spiritual knowledge that has been passed down from generation to generation. It's the sign of royalty inside. God talks to you in ways that go straight to your spirit, not your mind. The seventh sign is that you are meant to keep other people safe. For everyone, you were the one they ran to for help, someone who would listen, comfort, calm the storm, and hold them together when they were falling apart. Royalty is in charge of protecting people. Your instinct to help others, heal others, and lead others is not a mistake. Your family history is showing through your heart. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description, or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. These signs did not happen by chance. It was a revelation. Each sign showed a different part of who you are. Each sign told you more about who you were becoming. Heaven was telling you through each sign that your life had a weight that you couldn't even begin to understand at the time. Chosen one, you need to understand another confirmation. You have been very spiritually sensitive all your life. You felt a need to pray even though you didn't know how. There are times when you've felt drawn to God in ways you can't explain. There have been times when your spirit seemed to suddenly wake up, as if a part of you knew something that your mind hadn't quite grasped yet. This inner awakening is a sign that you come from a line of spiritual royalty. Your spirit knows things that your mind has forgotten. Your spirit knows what your heart really wants. Something inside you stops moving when you hear the truth. You feel something inside you change when you sense it. You feel something rise inside you when you hear God speak. The king or queen signed this, recognizing the language of God. being able to sense heaven before you can see it. Because your family tree was built on truth, your spirit responds to it. There is one more sign that has always been with you. A sense that you are not being watched by people, but by something bigger. A feeling that heaven was following you around. That you were important. That you were important even when no one else did. This feeling was real, not made up. It was looking over them. People with royal blood are watched over by heaven. Those who carry divine inheritance are watched over by heaven. Heaven watches over those who will carry future mantles. You were never by yourself. You were always seen. We will never forget you. You were safe at all times. Picked. Your signs were not a bunch of different pieces. They were a chart. A theme that's hidden in your story. A pattern ready to be seen when you were ready to see it. Now is that time. Your life has shown that you are who you say you are. Every battle, every wound, every miracle, every shift, every survival, and every insight proves the same thing. You have royal blood in your family tree. A family tree known in heaven. A bloodline that people fear in the dark. A line of blood with a purpose. Your spirit can now see what your heart felt. You are becoming more known now. Now, heaven is getting ready to take you to the next part of your journey. Picked. Heaven starts to show you how important your calling really is now that the signs are out there. There's more to you than just being a royal descendant. You are the next generation to carry on a spiritual mission that has been going on for generations. Your rise didn't start with you. Sounds came from a long time ago before you. There were people who prayed, fought, and lived so that their family could carry out the mission God gave them. You have been chosen to finish what they started. This is why your life has always been so thrilling. That's why the choices you've made have been important. This is why your spirit has been under a lot of stress to learn, grow, and rise. You are not being forced to do something. You're being pulled by fate. The mantle that covers your life has a story, a cost, and a plan. For many years, heaven has watched over it. For generations, evil forces have tried to stop it. But now it's up to you. And heaven has decided that the time for you to wake up has come. Chosen one. There is a change going on around you. It comes slowly. It comes without being told. It comes when your heart is still. You feel it when you're by yourself and your spirit knows something you can't explain. This change is the step toward your royal calling. It puts you in line with doors that you didn't know were being set up. It blocks the ways that would have gotten you out of position. It shows you the way even when you don't know what to do. Your calling needs to be made clear. It needs to be raised. It wants to be away from the noise of the world. Your family tree can't work when things are a mess. A lot of distractions are bad for it. It can't grow in places that don't respect your identity. That's why God has been getting rid of people in your life. This is why He has been shutting down voices that used to have power over you. That's why He's been telling you what people around you really want. He is making room for your assignment. When you have a royal calling, you need a clean environment, pure motives, and safe spaces. That space around you is being built by God. From now on, this change might make you feel. It might feel like a push to change. It might feel like a push to let go. It might hit you all of a sudden that something old is over and something new is starting. That's not the same thing as confusion. Yes, it is activation. Heaven is moving you around. Your calling is not a soft one. It goes up with force. It gets stronger as it goes. It rises for a reason. It precisely goes up. You start to feel conviction where you used to feel tolerance. You start to see the truth where there were only shadows before. There are places where you used to feel at peace that start to bother you. This is your spirit getting used to the fact that you are now more important. It is not quiet when a royal lineage comes back to life. It shakes up everything that isn't in line with fate. Dear child of God, you are about to enter a time when you can't ignore how you feel. You won't be able to avoid your calling anymore. There will be no more running away from your work. There is a rising inside you that won't stay small. You are being pushed forward by something that won't stay quiet. Something inside you wants to be heard, understood, and had an effect. This is the mantle figuring out what rock it is. When you are given a royal assignment, you are asked to rise, move, and become what heaven has written. Right now, you are meeting that need. It's likely that your dreams will change. They have more information. They have more signs on them. They make you feel more rushed. These dreams aren't just pictures in your head. That's what they say. They are alerts. They prove something. When heaven talks to people with royal blood, it is very clear, because getting it wrong costs a lot. At night, when your body is sleeping, your spirit is being trained. The dreams aren't always clear to your mind. Sometimes your spirit does. It keeps track. It changes, it lines up. Your voice will also change. You can understand words better. Without any work, insight grows. You say things that are true that even surprise you. You feel compelled to give other people life. You want to comfort, guard, and lead. This is the start of your authority showing. Royalty has a powerful voice. When it comes to words, royalty means a lot. People give influence to royalty. People have chosen to listen to your voice. This is why your enemy tried to shut you up in the past. He tried to make you doubt yourself. He tried to make you less of who you are. The enemy told you lies to make you believe that your voice didn't matter. Your voice carries the weight of your family history. Heaven hears what you say. Darkness shakes when you speak. Chains get weaker when you talk. That's why your heart has become better. Pain made it softer. Betrayal made it stronger. Loss cleaned it up. Being alone made it stronger. Each experience made your heart stronger so it could hold the kindness, knowledge, and authority your calling calls for. Royal hearts aren't tough, they're just better. There will be signs in nature too. The doors start to open. Chances come your way. People approach you with interest or respect that you don't expect. You're drawn to places you didn't even think about before. These are not just random events. They are lines of sight. Heaven is moving things around to put you in the exact spot you need to be for the next part of your destiny. There is no confusion when the King calls someone. They make alignment happen. They give direction. They make things clear. From now on, things will be very clear for you. A time of year when it's easier to make choices because your spirit knows the way. Picked. The royal bloodline that is rising in you is doing more than just waking you up. It's calling you, making you who you are. It needs all of your attention. You are being taken to a higher level of purpose. And this world needs a different version of you. People who know about it. A version that is sure of itself. A version that is spiritually grown up. A version of them that knows what fate costs. You have been given this spiritual inheritance. This is how your calling is coming true. This is the claim on your identity. You are not becoming a king or queen. It is coming back to you, picked. The air around you changes as your royal calling grows stronger. Heaven moves. Darkness comes back. The spiritual world knows that you have awakened. You need to get this. People do notice when royalty rises. The enemy tries to get in the way whenever God raises up a chosen vessel. The battle you're going through now is not confusion. It proves something. You are going to sit on a throne. A cloak is falling over your shoulders. When a throne shows up, enemies gather, not to steal it from you, but to keep you from stepping into it. This is the reason the stress is so high. This is why your feelings change. This is why people act weird around you. Your high position brings out hidden spirits. Your awakening shows you hidden goals. Being with you stirs up what's below the surface. This is the battle for your throne. Not a real throne, but a spiritual one. The place where power over your life is given to you. The kind of power you are meant to have. The robe you are meant to wear and the throne you are meant to sit on. You need to be smart about how you walk. Having discernment makes you a queen. Without wisdom, royalty is open to attack. Influence can be dangerous if you don't use it wisely. The chosen can be led astray if they don't have discernment. Heaven is making you smarter, because you need to be clear for the next season. You will start to see people for who they really are, chosen one. Masks are going to fall. Pretenses will fall apart. Words will no longer be able to trick people. When you look at someone, you'll know what they're telling you before they say it. Before they do anything, you'll know what they want. You'll know if someone has a pure heart. You'll know when someone has a bad motive. Please don't judge me. It keeps you safe. The throne is watched over by wisdom. Some people can't go with you into the next season. It's not that they are bad, but that they are not aligned. They don't get your calling. They can't help you with your assignment. They are not able to handle your rise. Having them near your throne would make it unstable. So, heaven keeps them apart. Now, pay attention to how far away some people are becoming from you. Keep an eye on the conversations that don't make sense anymore. Pay attention to the friendships that make you feel bad. Pay attention to the invitations that don't feel right to you. These are signs that God is looking over your life. Infighting isn't always war. Alignment is sometimes the answer. Because your task is getting bigger. Your judgment is getting better. As the season changes, you can't afford to move without thinking. You have to plan your steps. Picks you make must be smart. The air around you needs to be clean. You need to keep your mind safe. You need to keep your spirit safe. You need to keep the peace. Royalty needs to be looked after. This is why God is teaching you to spot enemies that look like they can help you. You shouldn't take every hand that is extended to you. Not every person who says nice things about you means it. Not every chance is a gift from God. Not every door that's open leads to destiny. Smarts will help you tell the difference. There are three kinds of people who want to hurt royal lineage. The first is the observer who stays quiet. This person doesn't hurt you in public. They look around. They learn. They pay attention. Their main goal is not to hurt you, but to figure out what makes you strong. It's their hope that your strengths will help them. Discernment shows them. The second is the sneaky encourager. They seem to be helpful. People say nice things about you in public. They are happy for your wins, but deep down they want your calling. They are afraid of your rise. They quietly stop your progress. Discernment lets you see their heart. The third is the spiritual enemy, which is not a person but a force. This bad guy is trying to hurt your mind. It makes things unclear. It makes you scared. It makes you doubt. It encourages being alone. It tries to cut you off from who you are. This is the enemy that is most scared of your royal awakening. Discernment defeats its power. Picked. As the season changes, you will feel spiritual pressure. Do not be afraid of it. Growth can be seen in pressure. Pressure confirms height. Pressure signals the start of a change. As you rise to the throne, it requires a level of spiritual intelligence that comes from being under a lot of stress. Things will start to make sense in your life. Patterns that the enemy used to hold you up. Habits that kept you stuck in cycles. Patterns that made you feel less confident. These patterns will now be easy to see. You have the power to break them. You will start to loosen the chains that have been holding you back for years. They will fall every time you take a step toward being a king or queen. Being yourself breaks chains. Cycles are broken by clarity. Sense of right and wrong stops lying. Your peace will grow as the war gets worse. When royalty walks, they are at peace. Not because life is simple, but because being in charge makes things more stable. You will notice that things that used to scare you won't bother you as much. Your spirit is getting more stable. Your body feels stable and you are aware. This is how a royal person stands. Now, heaven is getting ready to help you understand your assignment better. Your throne isn't just for looks. It's for a reason. You weren't picked to live in silence. You were picked to change moods, lead, speak out, bring light into darkness, stand where others fall, rise where others retreat, and bring clarity where confusion has reigned. Your throne is where you can do what you need to do. Dear child of God, you need to be more spiritually mature for the next season. You are working on that right now. You need to be able to handle things on your own. You need to learn how to move forward when other people are hesitant. When the enemy tries to attack, you need to learn how to stand your ground. When your mind has doubts, you need to learn to trust your spirit. Your sense of right and wrong will guide you. Boundaries are needed for royal lineage. You can't let everyone get to you. You can't give your energy away for free. You can't say yes to every invitation. You must protect the royal blessing that has been put on your life. Your presence is important. You have authority in your voice. Your spirit holds memories. Your journey has a reason for being. That's why there is a real war for your throne. This is why you are becoming more wise. This is why your spirit is learning in silence in heaven. You are getting ready for a level of power that needs understanding. You are being shaped for a future that calls for maturity. You are getting better for a job that needs clarity. The enemy fought for your throne, but heaven kept it safe for you. Your throne is ready, chosen one. And you're almost ready to sit down. You were chosen, and now it's time for the big reveal. Battle, being alone, awakening, revelation, and getting better at discerning have all been parts of your journey. These were not all separate events. They were steps that were carefully planned. Steps that heaven set up to bring you to this moment. What you're about to hear is not a guess. It proves something. It's already what God said over your life. It's already in your spirit. It has already been shown to you on your journey. There's more to you than just being a royal descendant. You have been chosen as the heir to a royal duty. There's a difference. A lot of people are born into a lineage, but only a few are chosen to carry it on. There are many who carry the bloodline, but only a few who carry the mantle. A lot of people are related through ancestry, but only a few are in charge of destiny. You're one of the few. You've been shaped by your whole life to get ready for what's next. You could feel the pressure, because the mantle needed you to be strong. You walked through loneliness because the throne needed you to be clear. You fought through battles because the crown required it. The preparation wasn't mean, it had to be done. Royal duties can't be put on people who aren't ready for them. And now the preparation is ready to use. Heaven has seen how much you've grown. Heaven has seen how strong you are. Heaven has seen your heart, your tears, your strength, and how you've changed. The throne that was made for your family is now in front of you. Not a throne of human power, but a throne of spiritual power, a throne of divine purpose, and a throne of responsibility in heaven. The enemy was scared of this moment, because he knew how important it was. He knew that if you found out who you really were, he would no longer be able to control your life. His power over your mind would end. He would lose the power to whisper. His plans would stop working as well. This is why he fought so hard against your awakening. But he failed. Now your spirit is awake. And darkness loses power when royalty wakes up. Picked. Heaven tells you that you are entering a time of manifestation. Not just being spiritually aware, making manifest. The things that were said about your family history will now start to happen in your life. The promises that have been made for generations will come true through you. The responsibility that was on those who came before you will now be all on you. This is not going to be a soft transition. Your spirit will know right away that something has changed. A change that affects the way you feel. A shift that changes the way you're going. A change that lets you in when you thought they were locked for good. A change that makes questions you've had for years clearer. A change that makes your life fit your destiny in ways you never thought possible. Here comes the king or queen. You will change the way you walk. Every step you take will have a reason. People will listen to your voice. Your presence will give people confidence. You'll be able to talk with more confidence than before. You will notice that people treat you with a level of respect that they can't explain. You will find opportunities that fit with your mission. You will feel like heaven is pushing you forward, directing your steps and influencing the choices you make. Since you can't see it, it will feel like someone is planning your steps. Heaven is setting you up. Heaven is making you better. Heaven is setting you up, but with great power comes great responsibility. No, rising to the royal level isn't just for fun. The rise of royalty serves a purpose. You are not being put on this throne to show how important you are. It's meant to hit. Their lives will be changed by yours. Your words will make things better. The mood will change when you're there. Your smarts will keep you safe. Your strength will inspire others. Chains will break because of your power. Your kindness will help people who are having a hard time. This is what a royal heir is supposed to do. There will be times when the weight is too much. There are times when the responsibility seems too much to handle. There are times when you don't feel qualified or sure. Remember this truth when those times come up. You were picked because you were made to do this. You were chosen because God trusted you. You are strong because of the people who came before you. You have knowledge that didn't come from your own mind. You have power that comes from the throne of God. You're not the only one rising. You have the help of a whole spiritual lineage. Heaven also warns you this way. Keep an eye out for people who try to cling to you just because they can. Elevation brings in both allies and fakes. People will come up to you because they see your light. People will come up to you because they want your throne. Keep your spirit safe. Keep your peace. You need to protect your goal. Not everyone should be able to see your life. Some people are not ready to stand near your calling. You need to keep your shield of discernment. If you need to, don't be afraid to walk by yourself. Don't be afraid to let go of people who can't handle the work you've given them. Do not be afraid to pick duty over comfort. Popularity doesn't make someone royal. There is a reason behind royalty. You will need to be brave to rise. Have faith in God. The guts to go ahead. Have the courage to accept who you are. Have the guts to follow your calling, even if it seems too big for you. You will rise though, because heaven told you to. Picked. This is the last message from the prophet. It is true that you are a royal descendant, a family tree that God made. A family tree that has grown stronger over time. A family tree with a clear purpose. You're not making your fate happen. Your fate is coming to you. You don't want to get on the throne. Your throne is coming to you. It's not your goal to be chosen. You were picked out before you even breathed. You keep the promises that were made before you were born. People who came before you prayed for you, and you answered them. Heaven has chosen you to be the vessel for this moment. Now is the start of the rise of royalty. Walk like a boss. Be clear as you walk. Be smart about how you walk. As you walk, remember that you have a legacy that even heaven praises. You are the heir. You have been picked. You are the next generation in a line of gods. Here is the last blessing for you, child of God. May God's light crown your spirit. The gods of heaven will help you find your way. May the strength of your family history hold your soul in place. May the blessing of your calling be with you. May the power of who you are keep you going. Be brave and go out there. Your throne is ready for you. You are about to enter your divine future, But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit Out Community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.